and I can show you how.
Whatever that seems to be something that is an overall good.
You're at a crossing. Can you feel this? Can you touch the fear and dizziness of our moment? Can you sense the ground shifting beneath you?
An overall good.
The sky is spinning as a red tail swipes the stars from the heavens.
Good.
All is primitive, while the Inquisitor looms behind you.
Good.
Two sides have risen, and all reality is caught between Charybdis and Scylla.
I'm not sure, let's say, what the ultimate significance of each of us doing this is, but I think whatever that seems to be something that is an overall good.
Hey there, and welcome to Russel Brandname, Billy Graham. A Reaper's Harvest for this Monday, I guess, May 6th, 2024. I'm the captain of this ship. I'm General Griswold Gaius Grimm of the 1st LARP Ingression Protocol, member of the Sacred Order of Foolish Transparency and the Fraternal Regiment embodying narcissistic sociopathy. Hello, friends. I see the assassins have failed. Welcome. Sometimes we do a card for the show, and we do dice for the show, and there's going to be Russell Brand and his sermon. You see, there's a lot of sermoning in the Russell Brand and Peterson back and forth, and I think rather than poor Paul, who's forced to commentate on it all, actually just grabbing this one part and taking a close look at it should be a good time. Plus, Afrio Pilotson has accountability stalked me into doing a Reaper's Harvest. So this stream might just completely encapsulate poor President Foxman's fresh conversation release in this time slot. And if so, I'm sorry, Foxman. It's just the way things work. This is, oh, wait. We have a jump out card of the show. 10 of diamonds. Oh, boy.
I believe that if everyone sees what just a few people become when they wholly embrace their gifts, others will awaken.
Like love. Love is worth saving.
I don't know love.
Now encompasses everything. Does it not?
It's all there is.
It's all there is.
You choose survival, social, wisdom, or heart.
See, you've given yourself up. But this is the most powerful thing that can be done. Surrender. See, and love is an act of surrender to another person. Total abandonment. I give myself to you. Take me, do anything you like with me. See? So, and that's quite mad. So we come to the strange conclusion that in madness lies sanity.
And in the Grim Grid stream lies a savings throw versus mind control, just like in that masterful clip of branding by Rascal. You too get to choose between survival, social, wisdom, or heart as the basis for your savings throw against the mind control. If the dice throw rolls over 10, then you've made your savings throw and take half damage from the mind control. Half damage. And if it's under 10, you take full damage. There are ways to get bonuses. Ask in the hive mind. Someone will help you. Survival, social, wisdom, or heart. Choose. Oh, survivalist. Not doing so hot today. There's a 2. You still get your bonuses. Socialist with the disciples today. You got a 12. Lovers of wisdom, you made it. That's a 10. That's a straight 10 there. Prime 17 for you hard folks today. That's a great job. What's the Indigo Kids also pairing up with the 10? The Indigo 10 today. Okay. All right. And now. Yeah. Let's do that.
We've put ourselves in an impossible situation with storytelling, which is that you can't tell the story anymore.
Yeah. Let's do that.
We've put ourselves in an impossible situation with storytelling, which is that you can't tell the story anymore. The exception has to become the center, has to become the one that's holding the center of the story. And so because of that, we've put ourselves in an impossible situation with storytelling, which is that you can't tell the story anymore.
Oh, and there's the end of that branding. I was going through the hive mind comments there. That's a +2 to your savings throws. Okay, what are we doing? Well, one thing we're doing is going over some fabulous things I've seen appear, such as this, over on Channel Doomir. Here's a portion thereof.
And it's because this is not artificial. Like, whatever we're doing, it's only artificial insofar as, we're not physically in the same room.
To suggest that psilocybin is a pathway to a mystical experience is perhaps at the same level of suggesting that one go to church.
I'm not here to defend psychedelics. All right, they are where how I found my way here. So I'm very grateful for them. However,
now let's see who in the cast do we recognize. Let's play along. There's Chad the Alcoholic from the Friday Morning Nameless. the Float Around McMo, who's recently done a masterful breakdown of hip hop, I assume. Who else is there? There's Jonathan Demir, and there's someone I don't know in the top right. We got bottom left, Neil Daedalus, also known as Luke Thompson. And there in the middle there is Strange Theology. But look, far right bottom. If it's not only the waves of obsession, what see the things that happen behind my back.
Since we're talking about it, one thing that comes to mind is that, like, perhaps maybe these things would be more appropriately situated in the church, rather than outside of the church. Like it is, because it is definitely not just the experience, it's like the framework that you're, like the story that you're in when you to do it. And and if you're in a Christian story, then mystical experiences are often helpful for people. We're not just out here chasing mystical experiences, but I think the role of mysticism in general, like for people to have a more spiritual experience of reality, like there's lots of people who I would say in church who don't actually like encounter God, or like encounter, maybe that's not needed, but I mean, ultimately, aren't we trying to walk with God? Like with God. That's not like,
all right, you sold me on it, Demir. You've sold me on it. What we're going to do now is we're going to start a new church, the Church of the Sweet Leaf. We only take the Gospels. The rest of the Bible we think is a little sus. So we just that part there, and then what we'll do for communion is instead of a wafer, we'll do a little mushrooms. We'll do it in the church setting. That'd be fun, right? Right. Blue Church card of the show, 5 of hearts. 5 of hearts. Not a good idea, though. Just not a good idea. What's this one? No, don't do it.
I'm asking people that you touch this, all of you, when you have those moments of real creativity where something comes over you. People even use poetically. They talk about a muse coming over them, and it's them and not them, or they're writing a poem and the poem writes itself or them as much as they're writing it. You know what I'm talking about it. And if you can just sort of step aside from the buffered self that Charles Taylor's talk about and open up to the fact we've got to recapture the ability to live, and live in a personal way. You would like that. We have to live in a personal way what participation is, if we're going to actually get at what a lot of the work I've been talking about is pointing to.
All right, in other news, the Christian Baxter over on the Yours Truly podcast has finally released the content of me and his conversation. It looks like it's currently at 240 views. So go put your kids to sleep to this for me. So it's got to outdo the Jordan Hall appearances on his channel. Okay, and here's the welcome back to the Russell Brandname Billy Graham Reaper Harvest stream. Just one more bit of promo over somewhere on here channel. On this channel somewhere is what's called the Thursday Bubble, where I went on live Thursday night and was joined by none only than Phlebas down there in the bottom right, Andrew, Jonathan, and PVK. That's here available. Watch the other stuff. Replay comments are a +5 on the saves.
Slime! What? It's a river of slime!
We all know that there is no agency any living gent can see. Doing what is right for me is lifting up my bro so he can grow some eyes to see that doing what is right for me increases all our agency.
And now, with just a little bit more ado, the speech and whatnot. As Pastor Paul says, you got to get to the 2/3 mark before you get the sermon, and that's about where in this Russell Brand Peters and whatnot there is the sermon. 1 hour and 6 of an hour 38. Here's the part we're going to talk about.
From you, it's like, what is it that you're doing with your words when you're doing what you should be doing, and what's the consequence what's been the consequence of that for you and for your reputation and for what would you say, for your dynasty and for everyone else? It's the same Abrahamic.
Let me note here that both this end and after what we go over with Russell says, Peterson was invoked the magical world of personal, and so subconscious defense parameters probably kicked in to invoke this response.
Question: if you use your words properly, I mean, first of all, do you? If you do, why? When you do, what happens? How do you know when you deviate from that? And what do you think your responsibility is in that regard?
Thank you.
Now, before I think as an exercise, those of you who are trying to become better people, let's go back over this bit here and ask ourselves all of these questions. Does it start here?
Words properly. It's the same Abrahamic question. If you use your words properly.
No.
I mean, first of all, do you? If you do, why?
There.
When you do, what happens?
Do you? Mountain Dew, do you? Okay, wait.
I mean, first of all, do you?
Let's take a moment to reflect. Do you use your words properly? Whoa. Quit reflecting on that.
If you do, why? When you do.
Why? Why do you use your words properly? Because in that Metallica song, the one thing that Cliff said was about lying.
What happens? How do you know when you deviate from that?
I know I deviate from that because I feel it on the inside, and it feels yucky, like a lessening of myself.
And what do you think your responsibility is in that regard?
I try not to look at the responsibility, hoping I can do more good before I realize the possible damage that can happen. But what did Russell say?
Thank you. The prayer of Jabez, I think in Chronicles 2, oh, that you would bless me indeed and enlarge my territory, that your hand would be with me, that you would keep me from evil. I feel that with words.
That's interesting because, like, one of my boundary scat markers that would prevent a conversation between me and Russell Brand is that I would bring up, weren't you Katy Perry's handler? And he's talking about how the hand would be with that's
That's a good one.
Yeah. I feel like with words, I'm trying to generate community. I'm trying to use language to create common unity, to instantiate.
That's a nice one there. Common unity. That's what community means. Isn't that nice? He gave us that. Thanks for the nugget.
I'm trying to use language to create common unity, to instantiate and realize an inherent and already existing connection, and that we live individually and collectively in a super state of potentiality. That it is.
We live collectively in a super state of potentiality. Collectively, like nothing changes your life. Nothing changes your story more than someone new. A new person, a new story weaver, network connection, a fringe.
He has no hands but ours, that we are here to formulate his kingdom, that, as we have already referenced, that we are his apostles, that this is our duty. Now, for the experientially how that is.
Are we supposed to build God's utopia? Did he just say we're supposed to build God's utopia?
Is, as you have kindly suggested, it is indeed a gift and therefore requires no effort, requires only acceptance acceptance and a receptive state. When I'm in this receptive state, the communication is effortless. I'm almost not a participant. It seems to me that what the polarity is precisely as you have described, that I am I am a vessel for and a vehicle upon my instincts. The flow of my instincts are that we had the...
Actually, I'm glad I played that thing I said no, don't play. This one?
I'm asking people that you touch this, all of you, when you have those moments of real creativity where something comes over you. People even use poetically. They talk about a muse coming over them, and it's them.
Are those the same thing? What he was just saying, and versus what he said there?
Senses are that we had the instruments to observe the patterns that might be about us, the endocrinal streams that may yet flow, and where they carry me, and with what telos and with what purpose in mind. Upon these...
Yeah, he's really getting into, but like the endocrinal streams, right?
Without us, the endocrinal streams that may yet flow.
Whoa, that just makes me think so much of state-based consciousness and biochemical alchemy, as in like, who are you when all your addictions are sated? But because of that's the resultant endocrinal stream is terribly enjoyable and productive.
And where they carry me, and with what telos and with what purpose in mind. Upon these with my rod.
And with what telos and with what purpose, though? Yikes, yikes.
I try to impose, Jordan, yes, an ancestral inheritance of some value. And the battleground for me is the inculcation of this ego. It was very, very well done by the culture. The raw material of the appetite.
That one's kind of a fun one I want to go through slowly. So let's recover. Whoa. Hey, Neil. Okay. Whoops, wrong click. Mark says, why do people listen to him? Him being Russell Brand. And it's because he speaks with spectacle. He's a master of the dark, or one of the... Some of the arts that we might consider dark are on display in full manifestation here, and that's part of why it's worth watching. That's part of why, just to see it in action.
The battleground for me is the inculcation of this ego. It was very, very well done by the culture. The raw material of the appetites was they did good work with this clay. So easy if you feel a continual lack, as one might if you have not yet been shown a path to God. So easy.
Now, this part is fascinating. And as I would also have the boundary scat of having to ask him about his involvement with the Fabian Society, were me and Mr. Brand ever to speak. The why is it that it seems this world operates under a system such that if it's very profitable for us to help you feed your beast rather than the man in you. Like between the lion you have to eat and the lion that eats you, the world benefits exquisitely from you falling from the light and feeding your beast. And that seems to be the nature of the world, does it not? And an agency deck card of the show, the Red Joker. What a coincidence. What a coincidence.
To worship their herd of golden calves that they lay before you, and all of the bounties that are on offer. It seems to me that it isn't, and this is from what I have learned from other alcoholics and addicts that walk the path ahead of me, that it isn't the external stimulant that must be addressed and overcome. No, it is the receptive pole. It is the coordinate. It is the inner coordinate that must be overcome. And I see what you mean now in the difference between the use of
the polarized self. That's definitely very raw material stuff, guys. There's definitely a lot of tie-in, but predominantly my thought at the moment is that now that he's a Christian, he should be able to talk about things like, hey, remember that time you were hanging out with David Lynch and did all that transcendental meditation? How did that work out? Because here you are. So what's up with that? What's at the bottom? I mean, since you went to the bottom, what's at the bottom? Yeah, you know. Oh, that peacock. Hello. I see the assassin. I see the assassin. I see And this here thumbnail is what NightCafe gave me when I said Russell Brand, Billy Graham, because the way he's preaching and where he's preaching from makes me seem like that's who he's meant to be in our new this iteration. The fractal recursion of social what's. I think he's the next season's Billy Graham. And that's enough on the Russell Brand. Let's get to the Reaper Harvest part of the show. And since Lenny's leaving the room.
The list? Yes, any of the first level ones.
I'm gonna get a soda. Anyone want one? Hey, Graham, I'm not in the room, right?
What room? I want to cast Magic Missile.
The room where he's casting all these spells from.
He hasn't cast anything yet. I am, though, if you'd listen. I'm casting Magic Missile. Why are you casting Magic Missile? There's nothing to attack here. I'm attacking the darkness.
Oh, and special thanks to the Shadow Cabal. So say we all. Oh, interestingly enough, for some reason, parts of me wanted to check in on Carefree Wandering, who never really made sense to me why his people weren't our people, and how that, did he have a flotilla?
Back in real life, as if we were on Instagram or Facebook. In a recent special issue on prophilicity in the literature studies journal Concentric, Katja Kauer analyzes modern and contemporary novels and stories. She shows how many protagonists behave as though there were always a camera pointed at them. We no longer learn from literature or movies or online videos how to become authentic. We learn from them how to be prophilic. As Katja Kauer says, the general peer becomes an internalized agent whom we perform for.
Click faster.
I'm not a cat.
Remember it.
This agency. We want
Remember it. I swear, every time that one's playing, I visualize that scene in The Princess Bride where the guy with the 6 fingers is turning up the machine, the longer I let it play. At the same time, while that was happening in my head, I was also finding it very, very comforting and soothing to myself, to my selfhood, to my present experience. And so there we go. I let it run that far. Sorry for sucking your life out through the machine of the Chad branding. Michigan deck card of the show is the 7 of clubs, and with that, we're moving on into the Reaper's Harvest part of the show. And if you don't know, we have a thing called the Broken Clock Tower Discord, and if you're on it in your browser window, it looks kind of like this. This is actually the clip stream where the Reaper's clips come rolling in. You have to earn special keys to get in this room over here, but many have. And the last time we apparently did one was, oh wait, no, go back. There it is. Oh, just stop it. There it is. This was the last time. What is there a date on this? March 23rd was the next day. This was supposed to be the week after, and yet here we are. So what we do is we go through. See, now this whole process here, the resulting in the Reaper Harvest show is insufficient for me. I don't know if we're going to do it as an on Discord thing or as a membership live stream or something. But this part that I'm going to go through now and do, I think we're going to do together as a smaller group and have a nice, more finished, polished cha-ching at the end. Maybe that's thematically arranged, but as it stands on today, this May 6th, 2024 version of the Reaper's Harvest, we're just going to be going through and anything that earned over 3 of the Community Indigo 7 emojis, which members can make over here in the Hive Mind chat by typing :7 Indigo : and we'll see which scored more than 3 and it is therefore marked as worthy of sharing with you. Oh, only 2 for this one from Mills. 4 from Ship Clerk's throwback to Get Weird with John Vervaeke and the Grimgrays Fringe Encounter there. Thanks to Ship Clerk for making this one possible.
Also have to be able to do this one.
Oh, it's 6 whole seconds. And you lost it, son of a.
Trained by meditation. The meditation is this part, but you also have to be able to do this when it's appropriate, and that's contemplation.
When John Vervaeke was helping me work the sphincters. 6 whole seconds. Thanks there, Ship Clerk. Look at my expression there, though. Look at that there. Make it big again. Look at that. Woo! You brought into my sphincter. Okay. All right. Enough of that. All right. Next up on the clip parade, two scored a 2. Scored nothing. Which one scored nothing? Let's check it out just to see. Meta Modernist Woo from Bart.
I I'm not a modernist. I'm not even a postmodernist. I'm a meta-modernist. I'm not a modernist. I'm not even a postmodernist.
I think we're gonna need a separate bin for the 7-second ones. Sheebus. Yes, McMo, that's how you do it. I don't know why StreamYard hasn't incorporated those yet. Shame on them. 2 scores, 2, and 1. Oh, a 7-pointer. We got a 7-pointer, ladies and gentlemen, from coming in from Neil. First time doing this. All right, so he evoked a spell right there, some mind control to get extra 7 indigo votes. First timer, guys, be gentle. And with his The Thin Places clip. Let's see.
In this church, the Islamic State fighters had demolished the altar with power drills, and they had toppled over the font, and they had pulled down all the icons and smashed them and jumped up and down on them. And I saw, amid all the kind of the rubble and the broken glass, there was this kind of piece of paper, of card that had been left. And I picked it up, and it was a picture of the Annunciation. So the great wings of Gabriel sweeping backwards as he knelt before the Virgin. And I felt that I felt it was a kind of one of those thin places that people talk about, where the dimension of the heavenly suddenly seems incredibly close. I don't know if I'm allowed to talk in this vein in a congregation.
That was kind of a banger there, Neil. Good job. Good job.
So say we all. Yuck, yuck, yuck. Ho, ho, ho.
Quick, find the one you're looking for.
The last of an expiring race which had strayed over the natural verge of its history, coming to life in some neglected swamp, itself a remnant of the slime of chaos.
That 13-second masterpiece from Ups was our next four-banger on the Community Clip Stream event, Reaper's Harvest Show branding stream, what we're doing now. This one here, following, we have, another 3-star from J. Pineapple Mostly, The Tapestry of Story.
So I dropped in a little bit.
Buzz it, and then jump it, and then
bit of my story that I told in my adult Sunday school class. And the question is that story true? Now you might say, well, I wasn't attempting to tell something that happened in history in terms of giving some sort of representation of a fairly common sense, observable, physical layer of reality. Fair enough. I wasn't. So in that sense, you might say my story was a fiction, my story was a parable. But as a preacher, part of the reason I tell a story like that is because I know this story will communicate to people. And after the Sunday school class, as what happens invariably when I tell a story like this, now you might also notice that, well, Vanderclay, I mean, you're bald and you got this gray beard and you got all this stuff. You've been doing this stuff for a while. Yeah, I have. Well, where did I get the story from? Remember how Peterson talks? So I dropped in a little bit of my story.
Well, okay. I don't know which part, but here's one I dropped off in the clip stream. Owning sin, I called it.
Love and acceptance
that actually gave me the bravery, in a sense, to be incriminated. And that combination of allowing myself to admit and own take responsibility for what I knew to be wrong, combined with being absolutely accepted even in that wrongness, was absolutely liberating. Which was confusing, right? Because to me, it always felt like accepting original sin was this heavy, the opposite of a liberating experience. And I was trying to go around liberating myself by blaming everything on everything else.
Tim Keller has this saying, I don't have it.
Love and acceptance.
Oh no, Clint is on to me. He's got so many to go through. Hey, Hezzy, good to see you. We're going to finally a reaper's harvest, and they haven't been harvested since March. So they go way back, and that was me watching something from way back, thanks to the algorithm. Thanks, Al Gore. No, look up. We got one from Ship Clerk again. This one from Karen, our good friend, over at the Meaning Code. Of 5 stars. 5 stars. I got. Hey, do it.
Science is the discipline that we exercise in trying to figure out how nature works. And it doesn't matter whether God created nature or it exploded into existence, poof, out of absolutely nothing at all, which I think is a little absurd. And I have reasons for arguing that, but it doesn't really matter. What matters is if God created life, if God did, or created the information that encodes life, and how all the methodology that people can argue about that. But if ultimately that information encoded in the genomes of life came from an ultimate mind, it does nothing to thwart my interest in how does this all work? Like when my dad made something when I was a kid, I didn't say, oh, well, Dad made that. I'm not interested in figuring that out. No, I absolutely wanted to understand how this worked. So I think that objection, I hear it time and time again, is science.
The clips can only be a minute long, regardless of how long it takes someone to say something. Yes, it dang well might be slack, but while I still have any attention whatsoever, I want to stop by and show that I saw McMo over there on the Christian Baxter stream standing in for Pete from Strange Theology in their Fancy Pants their Truly Strange series, which I think needs some loving. And part of it is they're doing this bit here.
Yeah, you're just late to the party, Chad.
You were slot number 2 or 3.
Sorry you weren't the closer, but
see now they had just gone over what has been going on in the channel, but they included none of the clips from the show, despite the easy peasy reaping tools. And I'm encouraging you to continue, Baxter. It's a nice a surveillance of the flotilla for people that it's very handy. But you're gonna have to throw the clips in, man, like they do here on this Discord over here. Grim Grizz's whole Reaper army, as it's been called. Go smaller now. I've clicked exit full screen. Why are you not obeying? Why do you not obey on this Reaper Harvest stream with Russell Brandname, Grilly Grim? Find one and click it.
Ducks eat bread.
They do. They like it.
Is everything all right in here?
Yes, Nanny.
That's not true, Nanny. It won't go exit full screen. Maybe if you press escape button on keyboard. Hey, did you know that I had the new keyboard grift and I have finally fulfilled my obligation of using the funds for that? Look, it glows pretty rainbow colors. Thanks to the Shadow Cabal, I have that now.
Now what'll that asshole think of next? Is anybody got a dime? I don't know.
No, I'm trapped. I am trapped in the Discord.
Remember, there is no agency. We want what's best.
That was refreshing. Next up on the Discord playlist, Baxter, you made the playlist with your conversation craft with rumination merch. 3 stars brought to us by Neil.
First heard of God, I was like, what are you talking about? What is this? And poor missionaries, they are knocking on my door. They're like, Jesus loves you. I'm like, I don't know anyone with Jesus. That's a weird name. That's not Albanian name. Who's Jesus? So we invited them into our homes and we gave them hard liquor.
Invited them into our homes and we gave them hard liquor. Thanks for that one, Neil. Mills says LARP hard, mother.
Hausinger notes that the word illusion means etymologically in play. It's from in lusio, illudere, or inludere. So play, in this sense, is an intimation of the sacred, since it's in the world, but not quite of it. Now, Hausinger was
LARP. We have the ability to LARP and LARP hard. LARP. We have the ability to LARP and LARP hard. That was a McMo one, I think. I believe that was a McMo masterpiece. I think that was his stylistic impression, signature thereof. Okay. The thing is, I thought I turned the shirts on underneath the stream, and I was clicking to try and find it and show one. But they aren't there for me. Are the fabulous shirts and stuff, the merchandise, the beautiful clothing you can buy associated with LARPgate, are they available for you guys down below? Can you click on them there? And now we're to one of my favorite events in the Reaper's Harvest, when someone brings a clip from my stream in. Afriel did here, and got 4/7 Indigo power-ups from the community. Let's see what 10 seconds he brought us. There's a hierarchy of repairability. Am I anywhere on the hierarchy of repairability? It's like a spectrum, jackass. Everybody's on it somewhere. Everybody's on it somewhere. All right, next up, also scoring 4/7 Indigos, is Great Wisdom Talking to Elders here from Clint D.
Some old people have lived very nice, stable, sheltered lives. God bless them. Some old people have been through wars, and you look at them now and they look peaceful and calm. Part of that is old age, because the thing is, when your body gets into the 70s and 80s, it can't handle much stuff anymore. So they have to live routines, just because if you don't live routines, you just feel so awful. That's the thing about youth. You can get away with it. Your body lets you get away with stuff, and it's, but as you get older, it's like, no, you better eat right. You better go to bed on time. You better get enough sleep, or that body is going to punish you, and you don't want to feel that bad. So
Still 15 more seconds, but I like this one. This was a rando that it felt like that's what pastoral care via Zoom looks like.
Oh, but you'd be surprised. There are some people in your church who are older. You could ask your priest. Your priest would probably know, that have lived through some life, and there's probably some people there that you could.
Oh no, we gave him plus 4 indigos out. The next one up, the scored 4 indigos, is a BGD conversation craft. He's one of the new characters. That he's like him and Jordan Hall made the rounds around the same time. I missed this one entirely. Here's a piece brought to us by Neil.
So I first started exploring the biblical, scholarship as it pertained to the Old Testament. Sorry, there's a fly here. I got him. Sorry.
And as you know, anybody who references flies in their videos and or live streams probably has dead bodies in the room. Thanks for catching that one, Neil. Thanks for catching that one. Next up, Tom Waits quote from Upcycle. Can we get away with this? Let's find out.
It's kind of strange to have a guy sitting here with a bottle in front of him.
Well, I'd rather have a bottle in front of me than a frontal lobotomy.
Hey, and next, oh, look, the Brit Shalom almost made it. And since Hezi showed up, I'm giving it my approval. There's a bonus 7 indigo, scoring it a 3. From Worship, Gavin Palmer brought us this.
What is worship? So there's idolatry worship, which we'll get into a moment in number 7, I believe. But worship means in Hebrew it's avodah, avodat Hashem, which literally means the translation would be to work. And to work means learning more and getting closer. Just like, and this is not to sit down and just say like constantly be bowing down and calling out for God.
Oh no, he accidentally said constantly bonged down.
Rather, it's a lifelong relationship development, just like we have, or not just like, but akin to what you have with a spouse, so to speak, or a child, where it's not you wake up in the morning, you say, I'm your dad or I'm your mother, and that's basically the end of the work that needs to be done. Rather, there's constant reaffirmation, and as the child grows and as the parent grows or the spouses grow, that constantly needs to be re-examined and rechecked and make sure that you're on the same baseline. What is
baseline test? If only I had done this beforehand and had that ready to go. And the tall white fountain played.
Okay, let's go all the way down. There's the game of the problem solving of the specific issue that I'm trying to do, and then there's the game of how does that specific thing fit into the overall strategy of the mechanics or whatever. And then there's the game of the game itself, like how is the game going to play. And then there's the game as it's nested in the structure of my channel, and are people actually like excited about what I'm doing or or even like remotely interested in what I'm doing. Okay, let's go all the way down.
Let's go all the way down.
There's the game of the problem solving of the specific issue that I'm trying to do.
It's I do these things called Reaper's Harvest to reward and encourage people to bring beholders into being.
And then there's the game of how does that specific thing fit into the overall strategy of the mechanics or whatever. And then
it's like I'm right now I'm just trying to insert it as a live stream and go over them in public, but it feels as though if I did a precursor layer where we went through and like thematically lumped them at least, and then did like in sections of what.
There's the game itself, like how is the game going to play, and then there's the game as it's nested in the structure of my channel, and are people actually like excited about what I'm doing or interested?
Yeah, see, that's the thing. I think these are better than the presentation is currently allowing for as a Reaper's Harvest, and so maybe instead of powering through the rest of them, we'll call it the show today, and I'll try one of these precursory siphenings, and we'll show you next Monday, what we can do. Yes, looming them together by I can do this so much better, and I got reasons, but I haven't been doing near as well as I should be lately. So let's wrap it up with the Shenandoah Farm card, and let's see what's going on over at President Foxman's, where he's apparently had some conversation with the fella named Bo. I assume if we go watch it, we'll figure out why that's neat. Okay. Oh, and we got a jumper, the Jack of Diamonds. Thanks, everybody. I'll see you at tomorrow when I try to do some more things. Where's the train? Give me the train. Oh, anybody make a plane for Paul yet? He always lands a plane like Big Bear. I figured, no, not this tab. Share the other tab instead. This is what it looks like if you're at the President Foxman channel. And this is the premiere of the conversation with Bo. Link conveniently provided here in my Hive Mind live stream. Thanks there. Here's some exit to let that play,
And that's how we're